Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So let's welcome all of you saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Let's also welcome His Grace Madhupati Proji. He's going to take this wonderful topic. Let's also welcome Proji saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Please begin, Proji.
Okay. Om Magnanatiminandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Savitamena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeyam Shigaro Sijita Padakamalam Shigaram Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavane Bhayo Vaishnave Bhayo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you very much for joining these sessions on Vaishnava Etiquette, Vaishnava Sadachara. Today we are going to discuss on this topic about how to deal with different devotees. Now, um, in coming from our material conditioning, we all think that it's completely all right to deal in whatever way we want to deal with. with different devotees. But in spiritual path, it is very very much nicely laid out how to deal with devotees, because dealing with devotees is the most sensitive part. There comes in what we term as Vaishnava Aparad, which is considered the topmost aparad. And at any time, we commit a Vaishnava Aparad. Means whatever progress we may have made devotionally, we come down that path. Right? So that's why it is very important to know about how to deal with devotees. In Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions that there are 3 kinds of devotees. This verse number 5. Krishneti yashyagirita manasadriyeta dikshati chat prantabi cha bhajantami sham Shushrusaya bhajana vigyam ananya manya nindadi shunya ridam ipchita sangalabdhya. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, diksha, and is engaged in worshipping. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Right. Yeah. In order to intelligently apply the 6-fold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper persons with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that one should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way according to their particular status. So the 3 types of devotees which he mentions in this verse, right, is Kanishta Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. Mentioned Kanishta Adhikari. Is a neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. So one should respect such a person within his mind as a Kanishta Vaishnava. A Madhyam Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental service of the Lord. So Madhyam Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. Right. And the Uttama Adhikari, or the highest devotee, is one who is advanced in devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean, and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. Right. So according to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such a Mahabhagavat or perfect Vaishnava are most desirable. Right. So Kanishta Adhikari, what are his other characteristics is explained. Is explained in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Archyam eva hare pujam yasadya yehate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sa bhakta prakrate smita. A person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave towards devotees or people in general, is called Prakriti Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. Right. The Kanishta Adhikari just thinks about, he's inclined to deity worship, but he just thinks about him and the deity. He does not think about any other devotee around him. So he does not know how to behave with other devotees. Right. That is called Prakriti Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari from Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why one should raise oneself from that platform of Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyam Adhikari. And he is described as Ishware tad adhineshu balisheshu dvisheshu cha prema maitri kipopeksha ya karoti samadhyama. He also worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love. But he makes friends with the Lord's devotees. He is merciful to the ignorant and avoids those who are envious by nature. Right. So there are three different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakriti Sahajyas generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such persons should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. Right. So that's how an act of instruction is described quite in detail about these three kinds of devotees, an association with those three kinds of devotees. Right. Let me see if I can open this up. Yeah. Are there any questions in this part so far? Well, okay. Today, yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's no questions. We'll move to the next section. Dealings with the spiritual master. Right. One should humble oneself submissively and render service to the spiritual master. Right. We hear from Bhagavad Gita, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevya. Right. Upadekshantite jnanam, jnanina tattvadarshina. Right. One should submit submissively, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena. Right. Submit submissively and render service to the spiritual master. If one wants to get spiritual instructions from the spiritual master or even a saintly person, one should take the orders of the Guru as one's life and soul. Right. Neglecting the instructions of a spiritual master is a big offense. Right. So the orders of the spiritual master should be highly respected and should be taken as one's life and soul. Right? Very seriously. Vyasatmika buddhi eka kurunandana. Bhagavad Gita again, these words. Vyasatmika buddhi, one-sided determination. And that verse, Srila Prabhupada mentions that when he heard the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where he mentioned that how the instruction of spiritual master, one should be so determined that now whether it's day or night or whatever may happen, but you should just stick to that instruction and make that instruction as a spiritual foundation and as one's life and soul. Right? Iha yasha hridasha karmana manasha gira nikalasu api avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. Right? Iha yasha hridasha karmana manasha gira. One should have yascha deve tatha guru tasya deve tatha guru. One should have implicit faith in Guru and Krishna. Yes, yeah. Because that spiritual master Prakasante Mahatmana, right? To that disciple who has implicit faith, he would reveal all knowledge. He would reveal all knowledge to him. Right? So he should accept the orders of the spiritual master as his life and soul. Then in the presence of Guru, one should not instruct others without receiving his permission. So this is again another etiquette. That many times now with Guru is with us, or even as advanced devotees with us, and somebody is asking question and suddenly we jump up and also want to answer that question, not understanding that the position of the advanced devotee who is near us, right? Minimizing the position. Immediately be ready to answer somebody's question. No. So, he should avoid, he should remain mum. And if he has to answer, first of all, he should ask permission from that senior devotee. Should I answer this person's question? Very important. Right? Very important. In the presence of the Guru, one should not take one's own disciples. Right? In the presence of the Guru, who is not supposed to accept disciples to begin with, unless by the permission of the spiritual master. Yeah. One should simply obey the instructions of the Guru and should not question. We should not disobey the instruction thinking that we know his real inner feelings. Right? So one should not try to question the Guru's intention behind the instructions and disobey the instruction thinking that we know his real inner feelings. Right? One should never instruct one's own Guru, even if one wants to present something to one's Guru, thinking that this information may be helpful. One should always present it in a very humble spirit. Right? Very humble spirit one should present. The Guru. You should not try to instruct one's own Guru. Right? One should never argue with one's own spiritual master. And these are all such important instructions to save us from spiritual fall down. One should never present one's qualification to the Guru and should always remain in a very humble position. The eyes of the Guru, one should always pose himself as the most menial servant, lowest, not pose himself puffed up. Oh, no, I am this, I am that. Or I am the president, I am that. No. It's just a menial servant. Right? One should never sit on the same level as a spiritual master unless one receives his permission. Right? Unless one receives his permission, one should not sit on the same level as the spiritual master. No. The spiritual master's position, just like the Supreme Lord's position, is always higher. And one should take a humble position and sit on the floor or lower, not on the same level. Unless no, the spiritual master gives permission. Right? Just like Lord Krishna is non-different than his name or picture, similarly there is no difference between the spiritual master and his name and picture. Hence, one should keep pictures of Guru and Krishna at proper place. Not that the picture of Guru and Krishna is anywhere. No. Lying upside down and this and that. No. It should be proper. The picture has to be properly placed. And has to be worshipped. Right. One should not read books apart from those written by the Guru and the Parampara unless one has permission and blessings. See, this is another important instruction. At times we want to become big scholars and want to jump into so many other topics, though not knowing ABCD of properly of the topic which our Guru or the Parampara has given to us. We jump into other topics. So here this instruction, so nicely given. One should not read books apart from those written by the Guru and the Parampara, unless one has permission and blessings. Yeah. Let's stop this for a while and take some other questions, discussions. We have a small group here, but any discussion so far on this important topic about dealing with one's spiritual master? Many points which we discussed is also true dealing with one spiritual master and dealing with one senior devotees, God brothers, Prabhupada's disciples. God brothers of a spiritual master should also be respected on the same level. Any discussions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So regarding the books written by, written by others, not from the parampara or by the spiritual masters. Say, for example, Ramayana. We don't have much literature on Ramayana in our line of. So, is it okay to read somebody else's commentary on Ramayana, Prabhuji? From a bona fide sampradaya.
Yeah, very good question. So far as possible, we try to minimize, right? In our parampara, our guru and our parampara is in the worship of Radha Krishna. They didn't want us to focus more on Ramayana. So that's why our parampara, we see, is not, we don't have elaborate teachings of Ramayana. Right? But then we see that now in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is, in the 9th canto, there are pastimes of Ramayana. Right? So you can read on those pastimes of Ramayana from Srimad Bhagavatam and then hear about commentaries of those pastimes by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, by Baldev Vidyabhushan, in reference to that. And no, when our other devotees have presented purports or tika, commentaries. There's a book on Ramayana presented by God Brother of our spiritual master, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has written Ramayana. Not written Ramayana, basically commented on Ramayana. And similarly, there are other devotees in our line who has written elaborately on that, right? We see Subhu Vilas Prabhu has written many books on Ramayana. Again, commentaries on different subjects of Ramayana. So those has to be carefully accepted. A person writing a commentary, I'm sure he would have also taken permission of his spiritual master before writing a commentary. And then it can be analyzed from that perspective, rather than us jumping directly into even Ramayana without taking the support of the existing books and commentaries written. We can get misled at times. There is vastness in presentation. And when it is not presented through a parampara, there is possibility of some influence which is in there, which we won't be able to understand. Right. Just like in the TV serials of Ramayana or Mahabharata or Krishna's pastimes. Right. There could be so many different variations which they may present. Right. The other day I was, with my mother. My mother was looking at some something on Krishna's pastime, and there they were mentioning about how in the Govardhan Lila, Kansa is instructing Indra to behave as what he behaved. And I was just scratching my head, oh, where does this come from? I've never read that in a Krishna book or Srimad Bhagavatam or anywhere else. I've never heard about this. Kansa instructing Indra to behave the way he behaved, to destroy Vrindavan, as if Indra was Kansa's order carrier. Right. So one should be very, very careful. Otherwise, we would start getting influenced by what we see or what we read directly, which is not authenticated by our sampradaya or our acharyas or our bhakta varga. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Navakoli. But very important question, yes. Yeah. And again, addition, like you were mentioning about if it is that commentary is there, the acharyas of other line. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas and the acharyas are there in the line of Sri Sampradaya. One should still make sure that we consult our spiritual master. Or if he's not available, senior devotees to understand the mood. Right. I remember just the other day, we were at Balaji temple and for Sakyavinda Mataji's wedding, and the mood where how Sitaram, Lakshmana, Hanuman are there, Ram Darbar in our temples versus what is there in or what was there in Balaji temple, where Mother Sita, instead of being on the left side, was on the right side. All those things has to be very, very, we should be very careful. Otherwise, we will start changing things in our sampradaya and get influenced by it. So there can be finer differences, and it may be good and respected in that sampradaya. And for us also, we can just respect it the way it is in that sampradaya, but not accept it beyond that. Yeah, because otherwise we will get influenced by it.
Yep.
Like tilak. One of the influence which I can see is the tilak part. In each and every sampradaya, tilaks are different. Right. And Vaishnava and Sri Sampradaya, in between the two lines which we see of tilak, then there's a red line in center. That's not there in our sampradaya. Our sampradaya, we just have Lord's feet and then the tulsi leaf, right? So the deities in our sampradaya should also, what tilak should the deities should wear. It's mentioned that the tilak with the deities wear should also represent our sampradaya. Just like we'll see even in Barsana, I've seen in Barsana temples, the tilak which is there with the deities wearing has instead of a tulsi leaf, the Nimbarka Sampradaya has some kind of a round on the tip of the nose. Right. No, mostly the print of the toe. Deities also wear that tilak. It's good for, because they are in the line of Nimbaka Sampradaya, they wear that. But that should not trickle in. That was suddenly certain temple in ISKCON will start seeing a tilak like that. Right? Because the tilak which the deities wear is a representation of the sampradaya. Yeah. And well, there has been deviation. There has been deviation. Sometimes we see Sitaram, Lakshmana, Hanuman deities even in ISKCON temples as a line in between, which is according to the deity ministry which has put out this instruction is not right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other instructions or reflections? Okay. Oh, to the dealings with seniors. Within a Vaishnava tradition, it is an important expression of our humility to respect those who are in a senior position than ourselves. The chain of seniority, the seniormost Vaishnava is the Guru, who is to be respected as a representative of God. So he must be given the same respect as Krishna himself. Right. Sakshat dharitvena samasta sastra yukta tatha bhavyate vasabhi. Right. Sakshat dharitvena samasta sastra. Samasta, all sastras is mentioned. Guru should be respected on the same level as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not that Guru becomes God, no, but it should be respected on the same level. Right? Next are the sannyasis. Among the sannyasis themselves, seniority is considered on the basis of who had taken sannyas initiation earlier. Right? So next are the sannyasis. So among the sannyasis themselves, seniority is considered on the basis of who had taken sannyas initiation earlier. Right? All sannyasis should be offered respectful obeisances, particularly when one first sees them in the day. Even Mayavadi sannyasis should be given proper respect, although one should not associate with them. The moment we see somebody in the garb of a sannyasi, one should immediately fall down and offer respects. Right? From Mayavadi sannyasi, we don't want to, apart from offering respect, associate with them and take the instruction, but we should offer respects. Right? So see the entire chain of seniority given here. First is the guru, then the sannyasis, right? Sannyasis with the consideration that who took the sannyasi initiation earlier. That way that seniority is considered. Next are the gurus, god brothers, right? They should also be respected as one respects a spiritual master, right? Then devotees who have undergone Brahman Diksha should be respected. Again, seniority is determined on the basis of who has been initiated earlier. Devotees who have accepted Diksha before us should be given due respect. Special respect must be offered to devotees who are senior in age. That's all another consideration. Right? That they're senior in age, so they should also be respected. Yeah. So the similar instruction as what we heard about when we're talking about dealing with spiritual master. One should not instruct another person in the presence of a senior Vaishnava without first receiving his permission. Right? So not instruct another person in the presence of a senior Vaishnava without first receiving his permission. So when ghee lamp is being offered to devotees after Aarti, seniority must be taken into account. Right? So different articles, when you offer them to devotees after first offering to Srila Prabhupada, seniority must be taken into account. Not that, oh, now I just offer to whoever comes first there. No, seniority should be taken into account. Any discussions on this? Dealings with seniors. Important subject matters. Okay. Dealings with God brothers. Okay. God brothers should call one another Prabhu. One should, however, not try to become Prabhu. The meaning of Prabhu is master. Right? Just because somebody calls us Prabhu, we should not suddenly start getting puffed up that, oh, since I'm being addressed as Prabhu by everybody, now I'm a master of everybody. No. Our mood should always be to remain a humble servant and accept others as Prabhu. That should be our mood. Right? If somebody asks our introduction, okay, I'm Madhupati Das, I'm just the servant of Madhupati. Right? Who is Krishna? So, who's a Das? I'm just a servant. So one should simply remain a servant and accept others as Prabhu. Right? So we are the servants of our God brothers, and according to a particular level of God brother, we must serve him accordingly. Right? So God brothers also, there are now different levels. From our senior God brothers, we should inquire submissively, carry out the instructions, and aspire to be their obedient servant. Right? Inquire submissively, carry out the instructions from our senior God brothers. To those who are equal, we should serve them by befriending them, assisting them, and encouraging them. Right? Those who are on the same level. We make friendship with them, befriend them, encourage them, and serve them, assist them. To those who are junior to us, we should serve them by guiding them, directing them, encouraging them, and enlightening them. Right? We should serve them by guiding them, directing them, encouraging them, and enlightening them. When we meet another God brother, we should bow down and offer the prayer Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And then, no, we should never accept a God brother as servant unless we have the permission or order of the spiritual master. Very important instruction. Right? A God brother should now he may be at the same level as me, as us, or maybe at a junior level than us. We should never treat him as our servant, right? Though he may be at our home, or we may be supporting him financially or whatnot. Never use them as our servant. They never accept a God brother as our servant. Unless we have the permission or order of the spiritual master, where the spiritual master permits us that, okay, this is my disciple. Why don't you go with XYZ, my another senior disciple, and just serve him? Right? Unless the spiritual master instructs like that or gives permission, one should never accept one's God brother as his own servant. A very important instruction. One must never allow the saying, familiarity breeds contempt, to enter into the relations between the devotees. Dealings between devotees should be respectful and without offense and duplicitousness. Devotees must not address one another by the karmi names. Right? Moment they have gotten spiritual initiation, and if we have forgotten the name, ask them again. Oh, Prabhu, what's your name? I forgot your name. So try to memorize them. Do not address one another by the karmi names. Right? One should not praise oneself or boast one's achievements or qualifications to the other devotees. One should know that actually one has no qualifications. Whatever we are able to do is simply due to the mercy of the Guru and the Vaishnavas. So one should not boast oneself or praise oneself or one's achievements. If anything has happened and something good has happened because of us, it's just because of the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnavas. We have just been made as a nimitta matra or a puppeteer in the hands of the Guru and the Vaishnavas. One should never become a puffed up person. Yeah. If a god brother or a god sister is undergoing some difficulties on account of sickness or bereavement in the family, and or is in emotional turmoil due to some reason, one must help in word and deed. As the saying goes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. The bonds between devotees will be tested at the time of difficulty. We cannot ignore such developments as being material. Right? Our heart should uh, go out to help Vaishnavas when they are in difficulties, not deride them. If a devotee has strayed away from the devotional service and has not been in the association of devotees for a considerable period, he or she must not be chastised for being in Maya or reprimanded in a way that will push him or her further away from the lotus feet of spiritual master. Right? If we see that somebody is having difficulty in spiritual life, one should not deride him. Instead, one should reach out to him with love. Right? One must offer love, encouragement, and friendship, and make him or her feel once again at home in the company of devotees. Right? Otherwise, gallons of blood which we may have shed to get one person to take to devotional service, all will be wasted. Right? By one misbehavior with another devotee. Any other questions on this discussions? Okay. There's no discussion. We'll end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam pavane bhayo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha vaishnavinda ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Haribo.
Haribo. My temple.
Thank you, Madhupati Prabhu. Hare
Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.